Hey guys, it's Will. Hopefully you're having a great Monday today. We just wrapped up our live session this morning and we were talking a little bit about BigBear.AI, and they may be circling what could be a $5.5 billion contract. Now, it's speculative, but their name could be in this deal, and if it does land in the deal, it's massive upside. We were just wrapping up this morning trading Tesla, TSLL, and we are able to make some good gains back as TSLL is up 7%. We see it start to recover. And at one point during those earnings, that position there was down about 3,500, somewhere in there. It's now recovered up to about $500, almost there to break even. So sometimes, when we're going for that 30 to 40% risk management or 30-40% margin for profit like this, when we're going for that 30% like we were here, sometimes that means we got to monitor the risk and wait it out, for 10-12% down before recovery. So good to see it recover. We'll just have to be monitoring it throughout the day. We got pieces of our position that we might sell off here at this next level of resistance, which I can actually move up at this point. That's just about 3K of the position. It's about a 20K position. So we're going to be watching it today, but good to see it back up about $1,400 today from where we were. So TSLL is one thing, but Big Bear could be facing what could be a potential breakout. Have you guys seen this this new contract? I'm gonna just preface this with, while it's a new contract that could be good, it's also not confirmed. So just keep that in mind, okay, before we jump in. So when we go to BigBear.AI, we're gonna go BBAI is the ticker symbol. Kind of take a step back, you can see it's been running up since April. It's had some big runs up to $10, and we've been covering it for about 8 months now, and we're long-term in it. We don't have any short-term positions currently, or we might have a small amount, very small amount for a test position, something like that. I think we got maybe about 20 shares, 40 shares, something like that. Nothing crazy. It's just for a test. But here we are with this new announcement that came out, and this is kind of interesting, right? It's a .gov article. So you got sam.gov. It's U.S. Department of Homeland Security, and it's request for information, RFI, TSA screening partnership program. Now, just to preface, you might say, well, this is weird. What is this, Will? Why are you talking about that? It's because they have this very scan technology that they've been deploying into a ton of airports. It's been going out into many, many airports. If you go over to some of the news, oop, that's weird. Maybe it's because I got the contract.gov thing open. But basically, news is open to technology being deployed into many airports internationally: Los Angeles, Dallas, JFK, Denver. And then this article comes out from the U.S. Department of Homeland Security that essentially says creating the TSA checkpoint of the future integrated turnkey solutions. And here's what they're talking about here. So what they're talking about here is essentially technology integrated turnkey screening solutions issued by TSA here, contracting and procurement, so with another company. And one of the focuses here that's interesting, so obviously TSA, they have someone there, but right now they're working on making it streamlined so that they can reduce reliance on manual labor, like one person. Imagine doing research on a person, being able to see where they're coming from, where they're going, all of the different variables that go into potentially catching or determining if something is a threat. Improve passenger satisfaction. It should be fast. Here's some things that really do match the bill for BigBear.AI. AI-driven threat detection. Then you got AI/machine learning-driven threat detection, which is, again, they're in our AI and large language model watch list there. There was one where they specifically mentioned their competitors, and one of the competitors they mentioned is Leidos. So Leidos potentially could get this contract. There's a lot of articles that say this is a $5.5 billion deal. Now, there's Clear that could get it, the Clear Plus. There is Leidos that could get it, and then there's BigBear.AI that could get it potentially. Now, if it's BigBear.AI, which is possible, the reason they say it's a $5.5 $5.5 billion deal, and they don't have, that's not listed in the actual article, is because apparently this new model would be supported by a 10-year $5.5 billion indefinite delivery IDIQ contract there, expected to replace a current 5-year SPP contract set to expire in 2026. So in other words, there's a contract expiring in 2026 that was previously there for 10 years, and they're saying this new thing that they put out on TSA or on the Department of Homeland Security.gov site is actually going to be a $5.5 billion deal. That's a little more speculative. I didn't see that it mentions that it is in fact going to be that dollar valuation. And most of what we see, like I got this email here that has a bunch, there's a lot of different articles that says $5.5 billion biometrics. Most of them don't verify how they know it's a 5.5 billion. They say TSA is moving forward 5.5 billion. Again, we can look at another one here, Washington Standard here. You got 5.5 billion. Again, how do they know it's a 5.5 billion? Nothing there. So, I mean, let's see. They say the same exact thing, but there's really, I don't think that that's mentioned in the article. In this article, when they talk about the contracting, they don't say that this is a replacement of that contract. At least I didn't see it anywhere. And I also ran it through GPT, and they didn't say that. So that's the only part of knowing it's a $5.5 billion contract. We do not know that. So that's the only thing to watch. And then also, we don't know that it's BigBear. It could be another company that gets it. But nevertheless, they got some contracts that have rolled in. They said didn't hit their bank account, but we're expecting to hit their bank account, but they couldn't count it as revenue in their last quarter. So maybe their revenue spikes. Their revenue has been increasing year over year, so it makes sense to see that continue. Their balance sheet here, total assets, you got definitely up while their liabilities are down, so balance sheet looks good. Right now, what we're watching for the key levels here, we're gonna, let's see, do we have drawings here? Thought we had some drawings. There we are. So we're in this trend. We kind of talked about it yesterday. Key level at $7.30. We could see it sell down here to about $7 a share. And with a breakdown, maybe even lower to about $6.80. But we are in this downtrend at the moment that started back here on the 21st. We see it start to sell back down and make its way to the $7 price point. Maybe we see temporary recovery and it bounces up to 735 and then continues down. That's kind of the trend right now. Or even worse, if it's on a bearish side, which could be good actually for long-term holders, this is more of the trend. It's actually something like this. You got this resistance, support, and maybe it is that correction, right? So we see the consolidation. Those are the 3 stages to a reversal. Is you're going to see one trend happen very consistently, then you're going to see consolidation from left to right, and then you're going to see it, continue up. And that happens in almost every reversal on a macro or micro scale. And in this case, we see a big bull trend up here, and then we see consolidations now from left to right. You kind of see this level at which it's now consolidating from left to right. And so we are possibly going to see the bull run continue and see that, or this is a consolidation here and we could see a few things happen, right? We want to watch the support level, want to see that it can hold, but you could see this sell down maybe to 640, something like that, and maybe it continues this downtrend. Overall, long term, I really like the outlook for the company. In the short term, we're just kind of watching here to see how it goes. If we start to see it make that move upwards, there's still that margin now to previous highs of about 21%. You just got to really see if it's going to continue. We kind of have said it. We'd like to see their earnings come out, and that's going to be on, if I'm not mistaken, it's August 12th. I mean, it's not misquote. August 11th is their next earnings. So we got a little bit of time, but when those earnings come out, that's really most likely when we're going to see the stock move heavily in either direction. So a lot of things coming up. When it comes to that 2026 contract, I don't think that the government will be kind of slow in getting this done. It's possible they could be slow, but they might go super aggressive to get it done, because they have the Olympics and they have the World Cup. So it's quite possible that this becomes something that could be a very, very strong priority for the government to get it done. And if that's the case, we also know that with the very scan technology from Big Bear that they've been deploying, they have been going very aggressive in their deployment. When we go over to their news, we go to their press releases, you can see that they have gotten it into these airports: Chicago, Cross Border Express, you got Dallas, you got Denver, JFK, Los Angeles. A lot of these are the airports where, the World Cup's taking place, things like that. Montreal, you got Port of Seattle. Some people say they've seen it in Miami. I've gotten reports of people seeing it in SFO, places in North Carolina. And I usually, after those comments come out, then we have them come out with the announcement where they're in those airports. That's how it's been, at least. Because remember, I did a vlog, and maybe you weren't there, but we went out to a space conference where we got to see, L3 Harris, Rocket Lab, SpaceX, and a lot of different companies, Lockheed Martin. And when we flew out to Denver, they had it there, and I filmed it, and I was like, so they actually have it here. And people were saying, oh, I see it in JFK. Oh, I see it over in Los Angeles. And I thought, that's interesting. They haven't announced it. And then a couple weeks later, we see them announce that they are there. So they're already aggressively deploying. It's possible they're just getting ready to get this contract here. Now, we don't know the dollar amounts, but if it is in that $5 billion range, let's say that that was accurate representation of what's the truth. I mean, they're a $2 billion company. A contract like that would definitely put them well into the $10 billion range, which would be about a 5x from here. They would be most likely up around that. Most likely we'd see them over $35, $40, maybe up to $50 a share if something like that happened. But again, very speculative. Don't really know if that's 100% going to be them. And we still have to monitor it and see what's going on. But other things aside, aside from that, other things look pretty good. And we'll continue to monitor it and keep a close eye on some of the movements that we've been able to catch. So there are some trades we made recently. We're able to catch about a 15% trade or 20% trade right here. This was a big swing. We'll be watching maybe something like this takes place, or at the least, maybe we get a swing like this if it does sell down more, about a 14% swing. Or maybe we get to capture something like this, 20% swing. We're there every day at market open at 6:30 a.m. Pacific time. If you ever want to get the targets for the week in a weekly watch list, surround yourself with like-minded individuals, and join us live every morning at market open, Monday through Friday. We're there. You can join our private daily live session in the second link in the description, and I would love to see you there and send you a free t-shirt as well as give you a phone call. Thanks so much for tuning in. I appreciate you all. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Hit that like button if I earned it. Do consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.